Every team, every topic, everywhere. This is Believe.
What's up, everybody? Friday. It is Friday Face-Off with myself, Toph Scott, and my co-partner, cousin, Tatman himself, Jeffrey J. Hulavecchio, and we have a Friday Face-Off for you guys here today. Sometimes we agree, sometimes we disagree. We try to pick a topic that can get some conversation started that a lot of people ask us. A lot of these Friday Face-Offs, guys, comes from you. It comes from DMs or emails that we get of questions that you have, issues that you're having, challenges that you're facing with your kid, if you're a coach, with the team that you're coaching, whatever it may be. And so I got a really good one here today, a really good one, Vex. And the Friday Face-Off is for coaches, but there's also a little bit of a parent view to this. But like how, when, and why to bench players. So, as a youth hockey coach, and again, this is age specific, age appropriate, but when do you use the bench as a tool for development? When do you use the bench as a tool for discipline, as a tool for winning? So let's start, because you always ask this question. I'm going to anticipate this question. Let's start with the youngest of ages. So like Mite Squirt Pee-wee, maybe even into Bantam. Like how can a coach use the bench to their advantage as far as like actually benching players? Go.
Thank you. For me, we're talking about Mite Squirt Pee-wee. I would say at those ages, it's going to be lack of effort. All right. Like giving up on plays, maybe not Mite, but like Squirt Pee-wees, like they're just not trying. Lack of effort. Undisciplined penalties, like really egregious ones, not like little ones, or somebody who keeps taking egregious or lazy or slashing penalties or whatever your team rules are, like just holding players accountable to your team rules. And then the other one would be like, if my mom did this to me and it only had to happen once. My parents' rule, just everybody's rule is different, but my parents' rule where I had to get certain grades. And that was because they knew that I could get the grades. It wasn't like you need to get these grades no matter what. It was like, school wasn't super hard for me. If I wasn't getting good grades, it's because I was being lazy 100%. So I got some bad grades, and it's because I didn't do what I needed to do in school. So my parents made me go in front of the whole team and say, I'm not allowed to play today because I didn't study for a test and I got a bad grade. And that never had to happen ever again. I was crying. I was embarrassed, all this stuff. But if a parent comes to you and tells you as the coach, hey, like I want you to bench little Johnny and this is the reason, then I think that could be, whether it's attitude at home or school or whatever it is, if a parent wants that, that's something that I think can be used because it's something a kid loves. So benching them for a little bit, doing it the right way, I think can make a very positive impact moving forward. So I would say, and then maybe the other part would be like being a bad teammate, bullying or anything stupid going on in the locker room or anything like that. You're going to sit on the bench the entire time and you're going to cheer your teammates on, and you are not moving from the bench for a period, 2 periods, 4 periods, whatever it may be. For me at those ages, that's when I would use that quote unquote punishment. You?
Yeah. No, I could not have said it better myself. I think the way that I've typically framed it, and when I do a lot of parent talks, I think it's interesting that you bring up, like, it doesn't have to be the coach that benches the player. Like it could be a parent. And it's the same thing. Like I talk about priorities as a hockey parent. Number one is family and faith. You can probably put faith in there for some people. 2 is academics, and 3 is hockey. And it should be in that order. And so if your son or your daughter is not living up to the standards that your family has set for your family, hockey gets taken away. If they are not living up to their academic standards, and I would not do it by grades, I would do it by effort, right, because everybody's got a different academic profile. Hockey gets taken away. Like those are things that will carry you so much further in life than hockey ever will. And then what I always say is hockey it's a privilege. It's not a right. And you have to earn the opportunity to play by the type of person that you are and what you do outside of the rink. And so I love how you said that. And then going back to like the original question, like coaches, like, again, come on, you don't need to win a championship at 6U or 8U or 10U. And so if you're shortening the bench, like, come on, stop. Just stop. And at the end of the day, when we look at things from a long-term athletic development view, the kids are going to get, even the top kids are going to get better when the bottom kids get better. And so by pushing them. And so, like, having those bottom kids out there in different situations that are important, whether it's special teams, power play, penalty kill, 4-on-4 situations, 6-on-5, 5-on-6, in the championship game of a really big tournament or something, if you want to go one, all right, this line got a 20-second shift and then there was a whistle. Okay, let's put okay, fine, whatever. But, like, don't bench kids on performance at the youngest of ages. I would say don't even do that, like, at the older ages of youth hockey either. And actually, Brett Beebe, who was on our community call, he had a rule coaching midgets, and it was like, from the start of the season until January, everybody plays the same. Everybody's playing power play, everybody's playing penalty kill, everybody's playing in different situations. And then through that 3 or 4 months that you have, you kind of earn the right to play a role after that in the playoffs, right? And when games get a little bit more serious towards the end of the year. I thought that was an interesting kind of thing for, like, the older groups, so, like, at midget hockey.
So wait, is that the Brett Beebe who just had 3 of his players drafted into the NHL?
It would be, yes.
Oh, wait, and he didn't shorten the bench in September or October or November or December. He waited until the end of the season.
Yeah, and he didn't shorten the bench. He just gave people roles. So, like, now you're giving kids a little bit more roles that you earn through the first 4 months of the season, going into it. And so, yes.
Weird. Love it. Absolutely love it. You're shorting the bench in youth hockey when people are paying to play. You are a donkey and deserve to take yourself to the vet and be put down. All right? Yeah. Stop it.
And everybody's done it. Everybody gets, we all have egos and we've all done it. And, I look back when coaching midget hockey, and there was a couple times where I shortened the bench when I was like, I shouldn't have. Like, what are you doing, man? And it wasn't for, like, discipline reasons. It was for, to get a win type of reason. And so, like, it's normal to have those feelings as a coach to want to do that. But, like, I look back now and I'm like, what was I doing?
What age was it?
It was midgets.
So, like, midgets, a little bit different. I mean,
as a coach, yes, but as a coach, you have a responsibility to develop every single one of your players, not just your top players, right? And so, and it's not to say that I did that all year or didn't give anybody opportunities ever, but there were times where I was like, what? Like, I look back and I'm like, what are you doing? Come on,
and it is tough. Coaches, we're like, it's tough. It's tough to not. We all want to win all the time, and that's how it should be. But again, remember what position you're in, and the role that you've been given is to help all the kids. And especially at the younger ages, like we're talking here, might squirt, peewee, like, come on, man, like, fight that urge as much as you can.
Yeah. I think the other thing I want to talk about, because we only have a minute or so left here, is that, John Wooden, who's like this big philosopher of a coach, one of the greatest coaches of all time in any sport, won 10 national championships in 12 years as a basketball coach for UCLA, which is absolutely insane. He said, and he's like a philosopher, he's not like an authoritarian type of coach, but he said, you know what, the bench is my best friend. The only thing that I really can control is playing time. That's all I can control. And so if there were effort issues or there were discipline issues, here, come sit next to me. The bench is going to be your best friend for the next little bit. And so it could be a great tool. Now, what I will say, the most important part to that is that the players have to know the standards first. So if you're, like, randomly benching people for random things about body language or whatever, like, that's not going to fly. Like, the kids have to understand what the standard is first before you hold them to those standards and put them on the bench. And then the last thing I'll say to that too is it better be, for, like, effort, discipline reasons, the same for everybody. If you have different standards as a coach for, like, your third and fourth line versus your first line, that creates dissension within the group. And that's not good for anybody, because your top players are the ones that probably need to be held accountable the most, because they're the ones that are going to have the bigger egos typically, that are going to try to cheat it and have not been reinforced with those kinds of things as they've been growing up, because they've just been that talented. So like, make sure you do it. Make sure they know the standard, and make sure that it's the same standard for everybody.
Love it.
But
Love
effort, discipline, things that they can control, not the things that they can't, like the execution. Make a turnover. Like, come on, like they can do that. It's fine. Like, let them make plays. All right, time's up.
If you like the show, please take a moment to rate, review, and subscribe. It really does help the show to grow. Thank you for listening.